Hi guys, listening to Cinema Red Pill. I'm Joel. Perhaps you've heard of me. I'm hosting for the first time. I'm here with Sharon and Sarah. It's the third episode. And
Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew's new. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about
You
yourself.
want all my names?
Yeah, all your details.
What you do? What's your deal?
I hope no one is tracking me. Okay. My name is Matthew Kavanda. I'm a first year student. I'm at MOOBS. Not much about me actually. I rap, I sing, I play guitar.
Not much about me. I just rap and play the guitar.
No, honestly, right now it's actually very low key. Why I'm actually here, I just stay in my room and like watch movies a lot. That's why I'm actually here. Otherwise, I'd be of no use to you.
This is the right place.
Yes.
The right place for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Baby Driver, Kingsman, Golden Circle. Was it Golden Circle? The Emoji Movie, Valerian, City of 1,000 Worlds. Planets. Jesus, such a long name. Okay, so Baby Driver is a new Edgar Wright movie, and it's about a talented getaway driver played by Alson Elgort. That's his actual name. Ansel Elgort. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so Ansel, who you've probably seen in Divergent.
Some car. The movie where
and
people
Fault in
cry.
Our Stars. Yes, that's a better movie to reference him from. So he plays a getaway driver, and it's a generic heist movie basically. Falls in love with a girl. You have a heist to end all heists. It's going to be the score that will set everyone up for life. Yeah.
So you're just starting your day, or did you just get off?
They call, I go, you know.
So what is it you do?
I'm a driver.
Oh, like a chauffeur. Anyone I'd know?
I hope not.
What is your name?
Baby.
Your name's Baby. B-A-B-Y, Baby.
Okay. And yeah, Sharon, I would like to start
No
with you.
way.
Because Sharon always starts with Joel, so.
Anyway, I have little to say, which is not a bad thing.
Okay.
So Baby Driver, I watched it a while back when it came out in the theaters, and I was really excited about it because I really like Edgar Wright. I love his trilogy, his Three Cornetto trilogy, and also the superhero movie he did,
Scott
Scott Pilgrim
versus
versus the World. Everything Edgar Wright does is like,
Yeah.
yes, he did a bit of Ant-Man. He wasted his life on Ant-Man.
Yeah.
A good portion, like
Yeah.
a year out to on Ant-Man, and dropped out because Marvel is in Bessie, right? But anyway, so I was excited, and this movie was big. Like, they were doing a lot of ads for it, so I was on top of it. And Edgar Wright is one of the best people to follow on social media because he's a big movie buff.
Okay.
He's like an encyclopedia. He's so cool. So, but then I saw the film and I knew the format. I knew it was going to be the music and the stuff. And I loved the editing stuff. I loved the beginning. Seeing Ansel Elgort do the whole thing, go about his first ride. But then, in the beginning is when the problem came. My problem is Ansel Elgort. That man is not a leading man for me. He's not, and he didn't work for me. And like I said, I was following Edgar Wright point by point during his marketing campaign, and he would keep referencing a movie called The Driver. I gave you that movie, right?
Yes.
So I watched The Driver because it was his inspiration. Even Drive of Thinking was one of his inspirations and
Drive is
stuff.
fantastic.
And he kept referencing how. So Baby Driver, I hope you mentioned it in your. The kid has a
has
problem.
tinnitus.
He has tinnitus, and there's even a point where he says he meets a girl, his love interest, and then
Deborah.
he tells her that this is the first time I've been able to talk a lot to someone in 10 years. There's never been a sentence I've not believed in a long time. I didn't buy it. He wasn't a cool, quiet guy for me. That didn't work. In comparison to the driver in The Driver, in comparison to Ryan Gosling in Drive, those were the most cool, calm, quiet guys. They were oozing of coolness, and you could see they were distant. So I was not buying the distance in Ansel Elgort. It wasn't there. He was just like a nice baby face. I just wish they hadn't pushed that angle in his character. But they did. And I wasn't buying it. So that was pissing me off for most of the movie. And I also really hated his love interest. That was also one of my worst things about the movie. It was painfully bad. Painfully bad. That's why I got disappointed. I expected more from him. Because he's Edgar Wright. The stuff he's done, it's fucking great. And he knows how, I don't know, he's shitty with maybe women characters, I don't know. But I really didn't, and I really disliked the way the ending happens. Because we are doing spoilers, right?
Yeah, we'll just
and they kept pushing this whole thing of baby has just found himself trapped in this violence, but he's such a good boy. They went so far, it went on the nose. Like we saw him hand the bag back to the old woman. You don't have to remind us again. Like they were pushing it. Baby was so good. They have this the climatic scene when he's with her in the car was so frustrating.
Yeah.
The ending was some of my worst parts, but good stuff. I liked the shootout scene. The one I liked all the new the things that were in tune with with the music. That stuff was dope. I liked his old guy who didn't hear, the guy with the hearing problem. He was dope. The love interest out. I liked Jamie Foxx. I hope you talk more about her. I liked Jamie Foxx as a villain. I didn't like the madman guy, yet I love him for all my heart. Yes, like they did that trope where the guy has died. You think he has died, but he hasn't died. I hate it when they do that. I didn't like him.
Explodes.
Yeah,
I didn't like him. Him and his girl who we like having sex all the time. Couple.
I came with so many issues, but now they're like
now you don't have anything to talk about.
That's perfect.
Like, there's so many more.
That's perfect. Hold on to that.
Please,
you're done?
Yeah, let her echo.
Awesome.
More.
Okay, Sarah, go.
Okay, I suppose I should start with the good bits.
Yeah, start with the good.
Well, use of soundtrack was excellent.
It was amazing.
Yeah, even and like also visually, that entire first scene after the first heist,
yes.
When he's going to get the coffee. So it was really nice having like the imagery at the back kind of reflect what baby was doing at the front. He passes by the store with a trumpet and he's playing a trumpet and stuff, and he's walking forward, like the pictures kind of gave the music and the action of the actor direction and stuff. It was really good. What else? Use of color, by now you should be used to me talking about color and things.
Please talk about color all
use
the
of
time.
color. There's that one. This one stands out for me. When Darling.
Wait. She's an artist.
Wow.
That's why color is happy.
I kind of figured because some of them just wake up and I love color.
So there's that scene in the diner when Bats drag those guys to the diner. Everyone is just going along with him because they know he's crazy and
and he was,
So like they sit down and he has Buddy pegged as this particular guy, and then Darling like speaks up for both of them and she says when
that speech.
Then she goes, when Buddy sees red, all you'll be seeing is black. Now when they go back that line was lame, but when they go back when they went back is when like you really notice after they get out of the lift, Jamie Foxx is in red and Buddy is in black. And then
Yes.
I've just
so like it kinda like the alarm bells are ringing. I was like, these guys are dead. Both of them are going. But I will say that I think I might have watched this movie after, everyone, oh my god, Baby Driver is so good. Baby Driver is so good. If any of you are listening, I hate you. You're the worst. This was not Edgar Wright's best movie.
Not in the slightest.
It, like all the things that make Edgar Wright, were at a minimum in this film. And that is sad because his movies are awesome.
This is true.
Also, I hate Ansel Elgort. He's a DJ. He has a really corny DJ name. Look it up. I dislike Ansel Elgort.
But now you, as it seems like a personal hate vendetta.
But she personally loved Michael B. Jordan, and that enhanced the movie.
Yeah.
Creed, and now so Elgort
Just spoiled it.
Why do you hate Ansel Elgort?
He's just, I think it's his face.
But he's cute.
No.
No.
He's pretty.
He's a plain boy.
He's a pretty boy.
No.
I'm very sure if we could do a poll,
no,
pretty boy would win. He's pretty.
In the countdown.
Yeah, aside from that, I feel like I'm kind of disappointed that, okay, not really disappointed, but I didn't see the point. Like, John Bernthal was in the movie for
But like,
10 minutes.
people like wasting
Thank you.
that man's time.
I know, he was
Thank
there,
you.
he did that whole speech where he's kind of, he's kind of bullying Baby, and then we never see him again.
He was basically Jamie Foxx before
Yes,
Jamie Foxx entered the movie. There's no fucking
Well,
point.
just
Jamie
show you the
Foxx.
ropes. Like when you come in, you go to this.
And the thing, he was so cool.
was,
So it's
yeah.
like, pick one.
But aside from that, Buddy and Darling were like this kind of contrast between Baby and what's her name?
And Deborah.
And Deborah.
Yeah, Deborah.
He had a contempt in
liked-
her voice.
Like you had like Buddy and Darling,
Darling.
having this really physical relationship,
Supercharged. Yeah.
and then you have
Taking
Oh, sweet and innocent.
Baby
Yeah.
and Deborah
Sweet.
who met
Did they
yesterday
bond
and are
at
now
all?
running off
Did they
together.
kiss?
I wanted to get to know Buddy
And Darling.
Yeah, I feel like that would have like enhanced the experience for me.
Agreed. Okay. So, Matthew.
Matt the layman. Don't worry. I don't mind.
Yeah.
So
this time, man.
I feel like
Not
the
a
layman.
layman.
I know, as in, how can I put it? If this is you at a certain level, people who like go into the movie, and this is the normal people who just go and watch it. No offense. And somewhere in between, I'd say if I was in the pool, I'm on that go where the swimming pool starts slanting to the shallow end. That's where I am standing right now.
Honestly, before the first time I was here, that was me, and I've only been here
So there's
once.
hope. There's hope yet.
Yeah, like
Yes.
the next time you
I
come,
think that's
we'll be-
everyone's first
you'll
time.
be
Will
going,
be
oh my gosh,
chill,
you'll be
you know
like
it.
shots, color,
Yeah.
soundtrack.
So for today at least, I'm just going to give the layman's view. Now I've been told that, and this is a bad trait, that I get easily excited. Like for me, it takes a lot for a movie to disappoint me. Like I'm the sort of person, no matter how fake a movie, I'm like, it can get better. As in until the credits roll, and I'm like, wow, it actually did get better. So
That's kind of sad.
That's very sad. That's very sad.
So when you guys were talking about the movie and you were trashing Ansel,
Ansel Elgort.
let me call him baby.
Baby.
Yeah.
For me, honestly, I liked his character. I liked the way how he wasn't in anyone's shadow, because in all the other movies I've seen him in, he's like in the inner circle of the main characters, but it's mostly a plot device.
He's
Yeah.
He's just
Why?
there
True,
to
true.
betray who.
There's
to,
a reason.
Yeah, he's just a reason.
be someone's
Or,
boyfriend.
Keep on living because I died. That sort of thing. So finally, I think when they called him for this role, like, yes, finally, I'm getting a lead. And I feel like he worked with what I didn't know that he was actually a DJ. Because for me, honestly, as a music person, for me, the music part of the movie, that was the best part of it. It was like we are your friends with guns. Basically. Like, and how Sharon said, the part when they were shooting and then they synchronized it with the music. But the best part for me was the tapes. Like, honestly, in my mind, I'm just like, if this was he slow, was actually that good. I'm trying to think like what would the other tapes sound like over these heights. We know that he records these guys and he goes and he mixes. So I really actually want to go and search out and see if I can get those So I doubt I can get them,
Like,
but
that makes sense.
The
Yeah,
real
mixes.
mixes that
Yeah.
he had.
yeah, I don't know.
I'm
if I
sure in
can.
a soundtrack
They
they're
might
all
be
there.
there.
Yeah, maybe.
Was his slow was
Sure.
listed in the credits?
Yeah.
So
Mm.
you should-
I'm pretty
should
sure
be able to
that-
find it.
But that was the best part for me. And but like she said, the villains were not
Mhm.
really brought out. Like
Yeah.
they just threw them there, just like that. Like start the movie.
Okay.
So, but honestly, for me, it was a good movie. Trust me, I would recommend it for someone. And I've had really bad experiences where people tell me, "Don't catch that movie. Don't waste your time. It's not good. It's not what." And then I get it on DVD, and I'm like, "Okay, now why didn't I go to theater for this?"
I would highly recommend it though also.
Mm.
Even though there were parts I didn't like.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's a really good movie.
Mm.
If you don't watch, like if you don't really know who Edgar Wright is, then you'll enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Nothing to compare.
Okay.
with.
With no
Yeah,
expectations.
if you don't have expectations,
But the girlfriend, what did you think of his girlfriend? Baby's girlfriend.
Deborah.
Deborah.
Deborah. It was kind of she was kind of convenient. For
Yeah.
me. Even
Oh my
me,
God,
like
that's a good
I
word.
feel like they tried to cram their relationship into this timeline which they had. Like it was as if it was part of the story, but they had to fix it into time with the robberies. You get because if you put a timeline on
Yeah.
it, would it be like around 3 weeks? A timeline for the movies, except for when he got arrested. While it was a short timeline, and they tried to cram everything, all the
Even
bonding,
the
and
romance.
all the romance into just this. We have to finish the movie, and then at the end, by the way, I also didn't like that. The guy just falling, and before I got there, that part of the guy getting up, yes, I filmed for that part. I really don't like it when someone dies, and in your mind, just like he's not dead, he's not dead. He's not dead.
Yeah,
There he
I
is.
knew when he was peering over the thing that someone's going to pop up somewhere and just
Yeah, and then
fling you around or something.
Joel.
Okay, cool. Yeah, very nice points. I loved this movie a lot. I loved it inside of like 2 minutes. Just that first sequence with like once baby like rears up the car and the music starts. Like I was shot awake. I was like edge of my seat already. Just the way it's shot, the way the wheels move, the way the car moves around the street, the energy, a kinetic movement was like it's just an adrenaline rush, and with everything's moving to like the beat of the music, and like you have John Bantha who was like I was so excited. I was like, yo, cool, he's in this movie. Little did I know. But
You know it.
they were just teasing.
Yes, just because I was like, oh my god, he looks so cool. Then he leaves the movie. I was like, oh,
I'm out.
yeah. So a lot of stuff has been. I want to dive right into Baby as a character. First, I have a lot of different opinions.
Yep. You know all of our opinions.
Yes, and I sort of understand the negativity towards Baby, though I don't feel he was meant to have as much depth. And I don't think any character, for that matter, was meant to be deep or layered. Because this to me was like sort of like a genre movie where it's like Edgar Wright just having fun with all these pieces. So even the way the romance happens, it's definitely not set up well. It's just sort of clumsily slapped together as in, in this movie what happens is he has the girl that he likes. This movie what happens is you have the crazy Jamie Foxx type wild card who's going to do some crazy shit later. It's just playing with all these little pieces. And for me it was just a style over substance movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The editing was genius.
Exactly. So I just had a fun fucking ride throughout, and when it hit the middle, literally jumped out of my seat, which hasn't happened in a long time, when Jamie Foxx dies. Because that was ridiculous and stupid and startling that he died that suddenly. Yeah, because, usually if you remember a movie like The Town with Ben Affleck, the crazy guy is set up as the main villain that you go up against at the end. Here Jamie Foxx just goes, and I was like, oh shit, that just happened.
Are you seeing it as a good thing? or
Yeah, I
bad
saw it
thing?
as a good thing personally. It subverted my expectation in its own little way.
It was a twist.
Yeah, it was a twist. And I liked that John Hamm actually now emerged as the main villain. and I liked him in terms of his motivations. It was like you said, his relationship with Darling was great. That was the only real thing in the entire movie that was actually
His reason
yeah.
for vendetta.
No, in terms of
Darling
like,
and John Hamm.
yeah, in terms of he really loved this chick. This kid has gotten my chick killed. I'm going to kill him now.
Pussy, she died.
Yeah,
Like,
that, that completely
Literally,
made
all he
sense.
had to do was when these guys got into the car, he was just going to drive, and they were going to get away scot-free.
Yeah, but now Jamie Foxx kills a person and he's like, screw this, gets Jamie Foxx killed.
Kills him actually.
Then the cops swarm them. This chick dies in the crossfire. So obviously, yeah, it's baby's fault. Baby has to pay.
It's direct.
So on a primal level, especially for characters that were like that hyper and juiced up, it made sense that you'd also be super hyper about just killing this guy. The thing that was stupid for me in that parking lot scene where John Hamm dies, it's Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
And his stupid that was completely out of character.
Yes.
No.
His sacrifice did not make
Any sense according
It
to what
didn't
you
make
had
any
seen.
sense at all.
At all.
Like, oh, we actually have a father-son thing now,
Oh,
and, I'm
yeah.
like,
They did show
and I
us
believe in true love or some bullshit, and then I'm going to die so that you can deal with this babe. It was stupid. It ruined the character for me, but he had a great scene. I liked the scene, Kevin Spacey and his nephew.
Yeah.
Awesome, fun scene.
Yeah.
And for me, this movie was great when it was having fun. Then when it tried to get like dramatic, that's where the shit sort of falls apart. But I liked the bulk of it still, because it was still fun. Everything moved to a beat. Everything had a rhythm. I liked that fun shootout where Jamie Foxx offs the cops. Jamie Foxx was a really fun character. Yeah, where he like just
I really
shoots.
liked
He
him.
just yeah.
That's why I wished
I like
he was
smoking
the
things.
villain at the end of the day, kinda.
Jamie Foxx was terrifying, and I was super engaged with
Yeah,
in him. Yeah, if
That's why I
yeah,
wanted
It was
him to
actually-
be the
if they had
fucking
followed
villain.
through with him as the final villain, that final scene on the rooftop would have been way more terrifying.
Yeah, he was
Because-
the better villain.
Because he didn't feel like he had that weakness of, oh no, I have someone I care about. Just no, I've decided I'm killing you now.
He said it.
Yes, he actually says that. Yeah.
He drinks to feed his broken habits.
Yes.
You guys,
Yes.
I was watching.
Everything
I was like,
I remember that.
what the hell is doing?
So there was like no in with him anywhere to where you could like trip him up. He was terrifying. Yeah. But for what it was, for the decision he made going with Ham, I was like, okay, I get why he's doing this. Yes, this movie could have been way better. But I think I had so much fun in terms of just the overall adrenaline rush of the movie that yeah, I walked away happy. Okay, great. So I think would we all recommend watching Baby Driver?
I'd recommend
By
it.
a mile, please watch it. It's one of the must watches of this year.
Yes. Yeah.
And make your own opinion, of course.
Maybe you're talking and like I said,
don't listen.
How can you tell them that after all that we've said? That's just me, Sharon.
no, this is our professional.
Anyway, I think you slipped up here, there, but don't look at that. Just
Yeah.
watch the movie and enjoy it.
There's stuff to enjoy. Yeah. Let's still walk in open to the bad stuff that's
But most
coming their
likely,
way.
people who listen would have watched it.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about Kingsman. Kingsman: The Golden Circle is a sequel to what year did the first Kingsman come out?
Kingsman, the
Secret
Secret
Service.
Service. Whatever.
To Kingsman, the Secret Service that
Yeah.
came out.
2014.
Yes, 2014.
2014.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Time flies by. isn't it?
Just-
Yeah. Okay.
Having fun.
Okay. Yeah, it's a sequel to Kingsman: The Secret Service. It picks up.
I'm like exactly. After.
Yeah, exactly after.
Mm.
Exactly after
Not
the
that
Secret
much time
Service.
has passed.
Not that much time has passed, and basically, without giving too much away, something awful happens. Something awful happens, and the Kingsman organization is completely destroyed. Apart from a few select members, and they end up having to travel to America to team up with the American version of.
They just wanted to find Channing Tatum there, didn't they?
Let's fix him
It was
somewhere.
the first day they met.
That was all they wanted to do. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I think you could go first because I have quite a few issues now.
Well, okay. Channing Tatum.
Without spoiling,
With this, can I? Okay.
it's going to be hard, but try.
I think that's you mild spoilers.
Okay,
you know.
basically, okay. Broad strokes. I would say there's a little bit of what I call sequel syndrome. You know, most sequels suffer from it. Like, if you make like the first movie really, really awesome, you have set a really high bar for like this sequel to come in. So it becomes really difficult, no matter how good it is. It will be a good movie, but well, the first movie has already given you like an idea of what to expect, and like you feel like the second movie just leaves it down. It's like the awkward little brother of this first movie. This first movie is the cool bigger bro, and it's awkward. So I kind of got a feeling from that. I think without spoiling, all I can say is that there was a lot of ex machina.
Oh, Deus Ex
Deus
Machina.
Machina.
Yeah?
There was a lot of Deus Ex Machina.
Can you explain Deus Ex
Yeah, you
Machina
should.
For
for the
the
listeners?
this is like something that just gets introduced into the movie just like that, and it's like a saving grace. Just specifically for that purpose, it is there to save the characters.
like write yourself out of a hole.
Yeah, like to write yourself out of a hole, basically. So I think there's a lot of it, but basically, I think it had a generally good idea.
How are the action scenes?
The
in
action
comparison?
scene in comparison, now that okay, the weight of the fighting scenes from the first one, I think it was quite heavy because I hadn't seen anything of the sort, like where it would actually follow the person fighting, and like it's close up. You're not just seeing like a Mortal Kombat style thing. You're standing here and the guys are there, and you're like, it's like a platform arcade game, no? It's like you're really into it. And I think it had more impact because I was seeing it for the first time in the first movie. Right now, it was more like, yeah, I was expecting it was like something you just know that.
There's something to compare it to.
Yeah.
There was the church scene in the first film, which was the epic scene. Is there anything in comparison
Is
to
there
Yes,
that?
there is. They tried to have a scene that was as climactic as that scene.
Tried.
That's the key word.
I say sequel syndrome.
They tried. There's honestly, there aren't many movies out there that can match up to that scene, and inclusive of those movies. And one of those movies is Kingsman too. Like it's a really fun movie to watch. I would say though that development of the villain. Okay, to be fair,
The first one.
It wasn't really,
Samuel L. Right?
It's not something they chose to
The
focus
lisp.
on,
Yeah.
But I felt like I knew Poppy less. Like she had less conviction to do what she did.
The villain is female.
Yeah.
I think I know the actress Julianne
Moore.
Moore. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Kingsman has kind of set itself up as a movie that kind of spoofs spy films.
James Bond especially.
Yeah, like it's kind of a spoof.
Eh.
With respect, it's a spoof, but like,
No.
you try your best to watch it without taking it. You don't take it seriously. It's not something you sit down and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
Bond is doing this, Bond is doing that, M is dead, things like that. This is just, it's kind of like pure unbridled fun, but
It's so random though.
it was really random.
Yeah,
Yes.
very.
Looks like it'd fit better like in an Austin Powers movie.
Nah.
Yeah.
That was the
Also,
vibe I was getting from
I also felt like, it seems as if they've also set themselves up as trying to be relevant to social and political issues.
Oh really?
Yes, do you remember? There wasn't like a fake president. The president in Kingsman: The Secret Service was Obama, like without showing us his face. That was Obama, even though his head exploded at the end. It was Obama. We kind of all knew that. And they did the same thing here. The president, the American president in this one, is Donald Trump. His reaction to like what's going on, it's like it's exactly what you expect that dude to say.
Trump to say.
Okay.
It's something I feel like they're doing. They're kind of making a kind of commentary on stuff that's happening. Yeah. What else? There was something else I wanted to say about it. The difference between Secret Service and the Golden Circle is that whereas for Secret Service we have them kind of, it's kind of like a fun take on spies and stuff and all that. In the second one, it felt a little less natural. The one was odd. There's a really funny feel to it. It wasn't the best. I would say, yeah, definitely watch it.
Yeah, I'll definitely see it.
It's super fun. Yeah, like the thing is, like,
do you think it deserved the rating it got?
What rating did it
I
get?
think it got about 64, if I'm not mistaken.
That's generous.
That's
generous. And
That's
I think
above
it's
average.
enough,
So.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now we move on to the Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
A breakaway hit of the year.
I believe I can fly.
Oh no. Oh, okay. The Emoji Movie. I'm trying to see how to explain this.
Yeah.
The Emoji Movie, basically, there's a world that exists inside your smartphone. And in your smartphone, there's a tiny city. In the city of Textopolis, you have all the emojis living there. And each emoji can only have one facial expression.
Yeah.
Except for our main character, Jean, who has multiple facial expressions, like a human being, basically.
Like a normal human.
That sounds so cute.
Yes! And now he's a freak, basically, among his people.
The pariah.
Yeah, now his father and mother are May emojis, and he's supposed to be a May emoji as well. So he gets taken to work for his first job, where they all sit in cubicles and then wait for their user to sort of use their emoji. Then a thingy like scans them, and they have to like pull off the exact face so that it pops up in the text bar. But when it's his turn and the user is reaching for the text emoji, he's texting this girl in class he likes. It's like a tiny side story that's really besides the point. He likes this girl in school. So he texts it, and this dude like makes a weird random face, and this kid is like, my phone is like, you're messing up my chances with this girl. I have to like
wipe you.
Yeah, I'm going to like hard reset the phone and like wipe all you guys out.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of his text message with a girl.
Because it sent a weird emoji.
Because apparently he was trying to let the girl know that, yeah, there could be a thing there, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like the cool, aloof guy.
So and then it comes out with the nose this side, and then it's coming out.
Yeah, he was like sneezing and crying and winking at the same time.
So the babe gets the text actually like,
so babe's like, what the fuck is this? And this kid is like super embarrassed, because now teenagers are in school.
Preteen, I think. It might have been preteen, honestly.
So everyone is up in arms over Gene because he has like fucked everything up. And now we introduced like the mayor of Textopolis. I think she's the mayor.
Yeah.
The smiley face emoji, the first emoji that ever existed. And she's cool, like she's this passive aggressive bitch type where she's always just saying the worst things to people, and she's like always pissed off, and she has a short fuse, but she's like always smiling. So she's just like gritting through her teeth like I'm not angry at all.
Happy.
Yeah, so basically she sends like these I don't know what the IT terms are. She sends like these bots.
Antivirus.
Yeah, sends antivirus bots like to look for this guy and execute him, basically murder him.
Jesus.
And I was like, yeah, kids movie, murder. This is cool. Then we get introduced to a side character called the high five emoji. And high five emoji is like in that group of emojis that is used by literally nobody anymore.
And
But it used to be like the cool emoji that everybody
High
used.
five
but
on that.
Do we high
I
five?
don't.
We don't high five.
Don't high five.
Nobody high five.
And actually, I like how they brought it out that he had been replaced by the fist bump.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
it
we
did-
placed
exactly.
Bump a lot
He had been
now.
replaced by the fist bump, but like these emojis that get used more
Oh, Bambi,
had
that's
their own
big
lounge,
stuff.
like
They
VVIP.
thought about
Yeah.
this stuff.
VVIP, and then like these other guys who don't get used had the like
Yeah, there was a
downstairs
VIP
the
section.
basement go where you go.
Yeah. So basically, he teams up with high five emoji, and they go on a quest to like find a hacker who can get them out of the smartphone and into the cloud, like via the Dropbox app.
I think that was the hacker's intention for
Yeah.
Jin's intention. What he wanted
Was to
was
rewrite.
he wanted someone to rewrite his code.
Yes.
That he can just be meh.
Yeah.
Because for him, he had all these emotions. When he gets happy, he would really like smile, like, oh my god, like, because there's this scene when he was looking at something that was cute. So
Yeah.
he's just there walking. Then you just see his face change, like, oh my god, they're so cute. He turns into these weird things with the crying face, and I'm like, so this is the weird. Okay, yeah, I get
I think
it.
he thought someone's baby was cute, and
Yeah.
they called him a freak
Yeah, then they
for
called him a freak
reacting.
for
Because it's supposed to
reacting.
be meh about everything. So they sort of like find this hacker, and it's cool. They have like set up this
apps,
grid
where
with like the apps as like
Like-
sort of weird skyscrapers, and these two emojis are like running around it.
and like all the adventures they have in the different apps like actually affect what's going on. Because
Yeah.
I remember when they're in the Candy Crush thing and like all that whole saga trying to get him
Oh
out.
yeah, they're in Candy Crush.
The game started playing, like they had to like play to get him to the bottom. So this guy, I think, wanted to talk to the baby. They're like, what? I think you're delicious. You think you know how Candy Crush is delicious? What? So this guy had to run away. I really liked how it didn't just happen like in the phone and then just stop.
Yeah. So they go in there and then they find this hacker. What the fuck was her name? Jailbreak.
Jailbreak. Wow.
Yeah. Cool hacker
Sato.
named Jailbreak with a black beanie.
Oh, I've
And
seen
goth-
her in the
goth-
trailer.
Yeah.
She's like a gothic chick.
Yes. And I guess this was spoiling. Like
Don't spoil.
we don't spoil the Emoji Movie.
Ah, I want to be surprised by stuff.
Trust me, there are no
There's
surprises.
literally no surprises.
It's quite a generic storyline. Honestly, you can see the end coming.
So he becomes man. That's it.
No, okay, like yeah, they go on this whole journey and they finally get to Dropbox. He sort of forms a relationship with Jailbreak.
Oh,
Yeah, but when it gets to the whole cloud thing, and it's iffy on what exactly they are and what's going on, he's sort of like fully into like, yeah, let's do this thing, and this chick is like, I already had these other plans for like when I came to the cloud, I was going to do this and that. Then the rejection thing sort of makes him become meh naturally without needing the rewrite.
what? So it's a love story.
Yeah. And that for me was a very it's a surprisingly deep.
I didn't expect it.
That sounds really deep.
Yeah,
I want
it
to now
was.
see
It was like,
Jailbreak
oh, that
and
was great. So yeah, it's a mixture of sweet, corny, and horrible. But it was not as bad as I thought it would be. So yeah, I would not recommend this to
Yeah,
anyone.
no, I wouldn't.
But if you are morbidly
If you
curious,
like it,
I want to see now.
If you
If
land
you're
on
curious.
it, well and good, but I wouldn't recommend going out and buying it. It's more like you're looking through your distance. Hey, how did that end up there? Okay.
or just to see how an emoji movie even happens.
Do you know it's the bar it had, like when they announced the Lego movie, it was the same reaction, like a movie of Legos. They're just trying to get kids, and then it came out and it was fire. It was great.
Can I just say the Batman Lego movie?
No, the Lego Batman wasn't
fun.
as good as
The
the
actual
Lego
was fun,
movie,
though.
but it was the setup for it to even become a
kinda
franchise.
It started to seem a bit overdone.
They overdid it, yeah.
They're
They
trying to make it
overdid
a
it.
franchise, I think.
There's
The
Lego
Ninjago.
Ninjago.
The video game
I used
version
to watch
was better.
the series. Like
Which one?
Ninjago.
Ninjago. Ninjago. Fine.
Well, it actually has a series.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
You can-
So it's
you
really
can
Ah,
choose
it's
one.
even still on TV.
Yeah,
Still on
still
TV.
showing.
The
I only want
Ninjago.
to watch it because Jackie Chan's in it.
Okay, and now we're going to do Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. It's a sci-fi film. Sci-fi. It's more of like science fantasy than science fiction. Film by Luc Besson. Who did
He's French?
Yeah, but he has really said the
Yes.
name the right way.
Yes. Who did Leon the Professional, which is one of my favorite movies, and Fifth Element, which I don't really like as much.
He also did Lucy.
Yeah.
You had to
Just-
play
just-
out.
I just need to remind everyone. That's all I'm going to say this
That
entire
didn't happen.
this entire review.
Okay, so Valerian it's based on a comic, is it?
Yeah.
A comic that was actually made into a cartoon, like a cartoon series, and for those of us who didn't have DSTV at an early age, we just recently been introduced to it. Kidding, by the way. But I used to watch UBC, and like there are those times when you know that it's time for cartoons on UBC. You didn't know what they were going to bring on, but it's like you are dipping, you are spinning the wheel of fortune.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
today you're like, oh, okay, so today it's Valerian. Today it's Galactic for today. So Valerian was basically this cartoon, basically about time travel and space travel at the same time. I don't know if that aspect was brought out in the movie.
We'll get into that.
Okay, but
Yeah.
basically, what I remember from my childhood was this guy was part of some organization that would go back in time to record history or something of the sort, or observe.
That's
I
interesting,
will
actually.
emphasize.
You'll emphasize.
Okay, I recently rewatched episode 1 of the animation. So basically, Valerian is when the series starts, he's a student at the Time Space Academy.
Yeah. Time Jam, is it?
Like he's a student there. He's a student there, and he gets his what's it called? He gets his license. He finally gets his license, and he's sent on a mission. Their job is they find anomalies in time, and then they send them back there.
Okay.
They find out what's causing the anomaly, but they're not supposed to interfere. Blah blah blah. So he ends up he goes to like France in the 1500s, I guess 1500s, I don't know.
Around that time.
He's just observing, and he kind of gets embroiled with this chick who gets in trouble for refusing the proposal of a nobleman. He made a comment, he ended up in a fight, and he gets thrown into jail with her. So
Her name is
Lorelai. Yeah.
Okay.
So while he's escaping, she keeps insisting that he just can't leave
Leave
her.
her there.
So he ends up breaking her out as well, and then he kind of
Comes back.
they both got into the ship, and when they come back to Earth, to his present, Earth is gone.
Like where Earth was supposed to be.
Where Earth was supposed to be is just
Whoa.
empty space.
Whoa.
So because he took the chick,
Something
So-
happened.
The butterfly
Something
effect
happened.
thing.
Something happened.
Something happened.
We have no idea. It's actually what they in the cartoon series. That's what they keep on trying.
The adventure.
That's
Right.
a
Because
mystery.
They end up being like the only two humans in the entire galaxy, and they're like
That's fine.
they are mob aliens, and like basically when you see these humans, they're like, wow.
That sounds
That
more
is
interesting.
sometimes fun.
Don't be
Sometimes
so-
someone trying to recruit them into a
Ah.
zoo, I
Get
think,
into
a
this.
zoo
Yeah.
of rare animals, one of the aliens. But basically,
Yeah, so it's really,
arc of it.
at least for the animation, it was really solid plot. It was something that kept you watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a show you were watching on TV
Yeah.
earlier, and this show was also based on a comic book.
Yeah.
The comic.
Ever glimpsed at the comic book?
I glimpsed at because there's this guy I follow on YouTube called Matt Pat. I'm not sure if you know. He does theories, but basically what he was doing, the theory he was doing was that Valerian was kind of based on a lot of other stuff. Star Trek. No, it's not Star Trek. Star Wars, I believe. And was kind of matching. So I glanced at a few of the comics, and a few of the comics are basically the same storyline. The animation didn't really deviate from what was there. The basic storyline is, I think it's the details that kind of changed, but the basic storyline was actually the same. Come back, Earth is not there.
Yeah.
Let's start, and we're the only humans in the galaxy.
It's really solid plot. I don't know
Joel,
what
please
movie
give
was
them the
about.
premise of the movie.
I don't know what
because
the movie was about.
It's a whole other thing.
Yeah, I guess I'll start off by saying the movie is nothing like what you just described at all.
So,
instantly bummed.
writers,
Just the names,
writers,
actually.
Yeah, so okay. So first of all, it takes place in it's the 28th century. There's a shit ton of humans in this movie, first of all.
First. That's the
And
first
they,
one.
and they are a peacekeeping force in the galaxy. Not time travel, they are a peacekeeping force.
All the humans or just...
All the
All the
humans.
humans.
And right away, we meet Valerian and Lorelei in a ship. We don't know where the fuck Lorelei came from. What you described was super interesting. She's just, here they are and they're partners. So it starts with Valerian having a dream about this planet that dies. I'm not sure when, but there's weird avatar, purple-looking people. She like sends out like a telepathic wave, then it enters Valerian's head, and he keeps getting flashes of this dead princess alien chick. And they have this weird thing where they're like feeding the planet. They have like these weird armadillo things. No, that's just a besides the point thing.
Yeah.
That happens, and we're introduced to Valerian and Lorelei, and they have a mission to retrieve something called the Mal Converter, which turns out to be the last of that armadillo thing in the entire universe. So it's on the black market. This place called, what was it? Black something.
Obviously, it's on the black market.
It's called Big Market.
He was prepared for
That's
this movie more than any
Yes.
other.
The place is called Big Market. So you go to Yeah.
Big market.
so they go to Big Market.
There was
where everyone
interesting virtual reality there.
Exactly.
Great virtual reality.
Because like Big Market's basically like in this giant desert, and it's just like this bland open space with nothing. But then you're able to like put on, I don't know if you put on shades or something, whatever. Then you like walk into this parallel dimension. There's like this massive city, and then you do all your shopping there. Then you like transmute the stuff you bought back into the physical world, and you go with it.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yes, it is. So
But yours was better.
much better. So they go to retrieve this small converter thing. Valerian, of course, tries to like double cross his guys. He takes the armadillo plus the one diamond thing they have because he wants to give it as a wedding gift to Lorelei, who he awkwardly proposes to like at the beginning of the movie. Proposes marriage. We've just met these guys. We don't know who the fuck they are. And so he steals that thing. There's a great action scene. A lot of jumping in between dimensions. Stuff was
They
fun.
That's another thing I'll say is
Amazing.
better, that like for the animation, it's just basically a will they won't they,
Yeah.
because like it's kind of something even as a child you could feel like they're attracted to each other, but they just kind of choose not to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like they're together on, like they're just the last
They're
two,
the last two of
but
us,
Yes, here Valerian is just blunt and creepy about his intentions.
Now let's go into the important stuff. This movie looked fucking awesome.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, it is a visual wonder. Your eyes are entertained throughout. Your brain is dead because the things that are going on and
Yes.
like any feelings and emotions, nothing. The only thing experiencing something great are your eyes. Full stop.
It was kind of like a trade-off. You're like, you're gonna get this,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
You get so much of that and nothing of the other. Like, have you mentioned it? The chemistry between Lorelei and Valerian.
Yeah, I dreadfully got. I
could
mentioned
make
the
you
random
slit your wrist.
proposal.
Oh my god, they are. It's like they're robots. It's like Luc Besson doesn't know how human beings interact with each other because the way those two interacted is painfully bad, painfully bad. Actually, those are my only 2 points. Those two were so bad. I like the plot because it was being able to take them around such visually appealing places like
Yes.
that. The big markets,
Yeah, the
they
big
had
market
virtual
was
reality, a whole thing. It was so cool.
Yeah.
So
Even the planet
cool.
with the aliens in the beginning
And-
was dope.
Yes, and actually the beginning has this whole setup where they're showing how over 1,000 years how people have discovered different planets, and then there's been this whole like intergalactical union because they now start showing like ogres coming up to people and shaking hands with human beings, and then the creatures just get weirder by the years. So you just see this whole union between humans and also those creatures, which is so cool. But my favorite scene is that you mentioned it while you were describing the plot.
Yeah.
When he's just jumping through some galaxies. It was so cool. Like
Wait, he does this
he's in a
physically or
loop.
with the
He's-
shoes?
It's because he like wears some special gear that you have to wear to like jump into another dimension. Then I think it malfunctions in some way.
Yes.
Then he sort of gets stuck.
Ah, yeah,
like
yeah.
I think he has
That
a body
scene
part stuck in
was
one dimension
so
and the rest of it is
cool.
and he has these dudes chasing after him inside the big market dimension.
Could drive you insane.
So it was crazy. It was cool. I guess the most annoying thing for me was Rihanna being in the movie.
But I enjoyed that scene, Joe.
Oh,
It was
I
nicely
really,
ridiculous. I liked it.
not nicely. She was a weird, random character.
What color was she?
She's like a blue shape-shifting alien. Like she was all gooey and like jello. So she'd transform into Rihanna sometimes and then into a bunch of other things. But as Rihanna, she would like strip and move her limbs around unnaturally. Which was interesting visually.
Aliens are into some weird shit.
Yeah.
It was like a burlesque show more of Kaya. And just generally I had issues with the way that dialogue was presented and the way people spoke. But I'll say it's the first movie I've watched that felt like I was watching Aliens. Because I had no idea how their emotions worked in general. When they were connecting with each other. Just the flirting between Lorelai and Valerian, there's so much cringe. And at first it's annoying, but I personally got into it and started laughing, like at least midway, because it got really, really stupid the way they were acting. I love this movie. I'd personally recommend it not because it's good, but because it's fascinating to sort of dissect what's happening. Because it interests you in terms of like you're confused as to what's going on exactly. You're trying to understand what people are saying. You're trying to understand what is happening, and everything looks so pretty at the same
It's
time.
so pretty.
So pretty to look
It's
at.
great. With the intergalactic scenes are amazing, but otherwise extremely forgettable. In 2 years, I won't even know this movie happened
Yeah.
by a mile.
Yeah. Okay, great. So this has been Cinema Red Pill with Sharon and Sarah
In a cameo.
Your closing is
and
so.
Matthew and Joel. It's great having you all. Bye.